So for some reason, in the past month, two separate people who I had met that day said I looked like Audrey Hepburn. I was wearing this hat both times. The first time I was like, that's weird, but whatever. And the second time I was like, what? No, I don't. What? Am I going insane? Is it the bangs? Is it because I'm white? The only thing I can see is the face shape and the bangs. No other features. Let me know if I'm missing something, or if I'm going insane, or if I literally don't look like her at all, because I don't. But that is not what this video is about. This is actually the first update for the collab project pan that Jessica and Amanda from the Fantastic Ladies created, and that is Frankenly, My Darling, I Don't Give a Pan, which is basically a rolling project pan that has no significant end date, and it is where you just work on a bunch of Franken products. And if you don't know what Franken products are, you basically just make your own makeup item from other makeup items. With that being said, first up I want to show you the progress on the Franken eyeshadows in this e.l.f. palette, which is just becoming a staple in my panning process, it seems. I will show you a picture of last month and this month and then talk about my progress. So as you can see, some pretty exciting progress, not necessarily a ton, but enough to make me happy about it. I will go shade by shade. So this first one I only used twice, not a ton. I tried to use that as a lid shade and I honestly just wasn't in love with it. It was a bit too dark for my preference, and for some reason it really wasn't that metallic. And what is weird about it is that this has the same kind of formulas Franken into it as this next one, which I used 10 times, and as you can see I hit major pan because I really enjoyed it, especially the beginning part of the month. Technically my intro was about 5 weeks ago, so I had a bit longer than I normally would, but I didn't wear as much makeup this past week because I just haven't had the time nor the energy. But this has a Physicians Formula single and a Depotted Milani single, and this is the same thing, just a different Milani single from that same palette that they came from. So I don't know why this one has a great I mean, it's almost a bit too crumbly sometimes, but it picks up a lot and, you know, it's really metallic. And then this one, it's almost like hard panny, and I use both of them wet, and this one hasn't had that problem. So I don't know. Maybe I needed to use a different technique for this one or try it in my crease or something, but I have been really enjoying this one. I haven't worn it in a while, but beginning of the month I was wearing this a ton. And this next shade I did not use at all because if you are keeping track of my Pan That Palette series, there's a similar mauve-y kind of shade that I'm trying to finish up in that palette, so I want to prioritize that one first, and then I will move on to this one. This orangey shade I used twice, and it was mostly just to blend out looks that I used a deeper reddish shade with. I like this shade, but if you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of oranges. I like oranges sometimes, but it's not the most reached for shade on me just because I don't think it's the most flattering, and I honestly just don't like orange as a color as much as others. This next shade I only used 2 times as well, but I really enjoyed it. I wore it on my lids for the look I did when I was talking about stupid purchases I made back when I knew nothing. I will link that video down below, but I had this on the lid with a kind of red crease. Really enjoyed this. I only used it 2 times though because I was so focused on working on the green that used to be up here. There's very little left, but I really wanted to get it done, and once I finished that I needed a tiny bit of a break from greens, so I wasn't reaching for my greens as much. This green shade I used 7 times, so it really did not have much left, but I really just wanted to get out of my life, and very happy I did. I liked the color, but I was getting kind of tired of it because I had a similar color I was painting last year, and yeah, all that jazz. This deep brown I used 8 times, and it's a similar story where I was painting it last year, and I thought I would get tired of it. I was tired at the beginning. I was like, ugh, I really just want to get this out of my life. And then I started using it, and I was like, This is not the best formula, but I actually really like the color and the looks I'm doing. For some reason this past week, I've been really into cool tones. As you can see today, I use this to deepen the crease and the outer corners of my eyes. It's not super dark, but it's just the undertone is so nice and unique, and that's the thing I love about Franken's, is that the undertones you create are just so unique and it's fun. I thought I would hate this, but I honestly don't for some reason. I think I like it now more than I have in the past. And again, it's not the formula, it's made of old shadows. They're supposed to be shimmery, and this honestly is just like satiny by now. But I have been enjoying this, so that's nice. I will probably repress it though because I can barely reach it. Now this next shade is another one that I'm wearing on my eyes today. It is on the outer part of my lids. It is kind of a silvery taupe shade. I've only used it 3 times in this past month, and one was at the very beginning of the month, and then 2 times was in this past week when I just started getting back into cool tones. I don't know, I just go through phases. I can never predict when they're gonna start or end, but I have been into cool tones this past week, so that's why I got some use. Not a ton of progress, but I'm just getting familiar with what I'm working with. Now this next one definitely has the most progress, and that's because I used it 26 times. Basically, every time I wore makeup, I think maybe once or twice I didn't, but the way I use this, I don't set my entire eyeshadow primer base. I just don't think it's necessary, but what I do use it for is I put it right under my brow bone and just kind of blend it out so that it brightens and smooths out that area, and it just looks more of an even skin tone because my eyeshadow primer isn't really pigmented. It's just to keep the eyeshadows on all day. So yeah, I just do it for that because I typically don't put a ton of eyeshadow right underneath my brow, so not the most pigmented, but it works. This next one I only used once, and similarly to this pink one, I haven't really been reaching for it because there's similar-ish brown shades in my Pan palette that I really want to work on first before I get to this guy, so he's not a priority right now. But this next one I've used 5 times, and I've really enjoyed it. I'm actually wearing it today on my lower lash line, a bit winged out. It's a very silvery, kind of murky blue. It's very unique. Again, I don't see many blues being sold like this. It's kind of grayish, greenish, but still a blue. I really have enjoyed it. In terms of goals for this palette overall, I really want to repress the 3 with pan, especially this guy, because again, it's just too hard to use. I could definitely finish this if I wanted to, but I don't know if I do, because I kind of want to enjoy it, so I'm not going to rush myself through this. I do want to finish the shade because look at that, I should be able to finish it. And I think I will finish this one naturally, unless if it suddenly multiplies when I repress it. Sometimes it happens, I don't know. In terms of hitting pan, I think I want to focus on the cool tone shades again because I just started really liking cool tones again this past week. Maybe that'll change next week, but as for now, I think my goals will be to hit pan on this pink one once I finish the other one. Unless if all of a sudden I'm tired of pink, then I might try. I want to hit pan on one of the mattes, basically. I'm really horrible at setting goals, as you can see. Probably hit pan on this one, but if not, hit pan on just one of these 3, you know, matte crease shades for me. And then probably hit pan on both of these. So yeah, I want to hit pan on these 2, one of the mattes, probably this pink one, and finish these 2. Moving on to the last of the little eyeshadows that I'm working on that are Franken's, I will show you a picture of last month versus this month. So, kind of exciting progress. I mean, I hit pan, but just one of them has significant progress. And again, it was one that I didn't really get into until this past week. I've used it basically every day I've worn makeup in this past week, including today. It's on the inner portion of my lids. I realized that this is very similar to that taupey shade in the other Franken palette. So yeah, I kind of made 2 identical shades. The other one is slightly deeper with more of a taupey undertone, and this one's more lighter and silver. but are they really that different? No, not really. You can't really see the gradient on my eyes with the exception of I put some brown like in the outer corner, but that wasn't due to the shimmers. So yeah, but I have been really enjoying this Franken. I used this 10 times, so that is a lot for me. And this next one, similarly to the other pink, I have not touched it at all because my priority is on a different mauve-y kind of shade, and this one will be the last one I think I work on the 3, so that's fine. I didn't touch it. This one I used once. Similarly to the other green, once I finished that, what was left of that little green, I just kind of wanted a break. I wasn't really inspired by greens, so I used this once just to kind of see how I felt. But I don't think I'll have any goals for this palette other than use this one more than once. I don't think I'll work on this because I want to hit pan on that other taupey shade, so I think I will force myself to ignore this, even though this I do prefer out of the two, but I want to hit pan on that other one first before I go try to finish this one. Moving on to the face Frankens, this next one is a Franken color correcting concealer duo basically in here. So pretty significant progress going on, especially on the green, and it's just fine. It's an extra step. I use the green on redness, mostly around my brows, a bit on my nose, maybe a bit around my nose, on my chin, wherever I have redness or acne or whatever. And that is the reason why I can go through this a lot faster, because the purple I only use right here and here. My skin is kind of yellow right here and here. It is not quite as even, so I use the purple to kind of neutralize that area, but then I put concealer on over top of it anyway, so I don't know how much this actually does. I think it does help. I don't have to use quite as much concealer over top, but then if I overdo this, I have to put more concealer on over top because then I accidentally look too green, so I have to put on more. Yeah, basically it's a balance, and I've been trying to figure out the balance. If I use too little, then it's like, what's the point? If I use too much, then I just have way too much makeup because I have to put more makeup to correct the corrector. Yeah, I don't think I need this, but it's fine. I found nothing wrong with the formula or anything. It's not hurting anything, it's just adding an extra step, and it's fine. I can use it up. I definitely think I can use up half of this, maybe? Half of the green. The purple is gonna go a lot slower, and that's fine. I don't have any goals on the purple. I've used both of these 27 times in the past month, so basically every day I've worn makeup. Again, I've had 5 weeks to work on things, so I haven't worn makeup every day, but yeah, I'm just kind of feeling neutral. Now the last cream product I'm working on that is a Franken is this little Franken blush, and as you can see from the pictures, I've made pretty significant progress. There's not a ton left in here compared to what it used to be. I think my progress this past month is about twice the amount that I usually made in previous months before it was put into this project, because I was working on other blushes at the same time. Now that this is my one and only blush I'm working on, I've basically worn this every single time I've worn makeup, with the exception of a few times. I've used it 24 times, but it works a lot better with cooler tones because it is, I'm wearing it today. It is a very light wash of color if you don't go super ham with it. I've never wanted it to look like this, so, but even with the light wash of color, I'm still making good progress. But with that being said, this will probably still take me at least 6 more months of consistent use because it's just a firmer product. It doesn't go that quickly. So right now I'm still enjoying it. I do like the formula because it is firmer, it doesn't smear on my face, but we'll see how I feel in a couple months after I've been using it so much. I feel like I'm a lot more serious with my project pans at the very beginning because I want to go hard before I get tired of it, because often there is like a slump where I don't want to wear it as much. So I try to really focus on it when I'm not tired of it, if that makes sense. This next product is pretty uneventful. It is my Franken bronzer. As you can see from the pictures, no discernible difference. I have used this 23 times in the past month, and that is because the past couple times I've been wearing makeup, I haven't been wearing bronzer. With cool tone looks, I just don't think it looks that good. And I think I've finally come to the realization that bronzer just isn't something I need or something I want. I think this looks good with some of the warmer toned looks, but honestly, I just don't love it. I think I could just use a warm blush. As you can see, I'm very fair. I think I'd have a neutral undertone, but I just find that I don't need it. I prefer contour in terms of adding depth and definition to my face, and I like blush to add color, highlighter to, add some glow, and then it's like, what is the bronzer for? Bronzer is supposed to add a bit of, warmth and color, but I like warmth with blush because I think it's more flattering on my skin tone. I don't know, I think people who are like more tan look really good with bronzers and stuff, but I don't. And so I'm not sure what to, oh, I just realized I wasn't covering the mirror. I'm so sorry. Amateur, I know, right? What am I doing with my life? But I'm just not sure what to do because a part of me wants to pan this, but I know that it would take quite some time because I put a lot in here when I Frankened. And it's quite a firm formula. As you can see from the swatch, it's very warm. And I don't think it looks that good on my skin tone. I'm not sure what I want to do. I'll let you know how I feel next month and we'll see how much I use it next month now that I realize that I don't really like it. Maybe I'll just use it for warm tone looks. Maybe I'll use it as a blush for warm tone looks. I don't know. Let me know what you think, because it's like a Franken of a bunch of random, like, it's not something I could give away. I'll probably keep it either way, but I don't know if I should try to pan it, Just kind of, I don't know. Now this next product, unlike bronzer, I have really come to love, surprisingly more than I thought I would, and it is my Franken contour. I made 2 pans of these, so I'm working on one at a time because it just didn't fit that well in one pan. I didn't expect to hit so many little pans or make that much progress at all. Obviously, Frankening things, it's not as smooth as a normal powder, so it's a bit uneven in terms of when I press things. So that explains this strange formation we have here, but it's pretty exciting. Like, that's a lot of progress. I mean, I just want to keep on expanding the pans for next month. I've used it 27 times, including today. I just find that it gives the right amount of color to my cheeks and where I want it, but since it's cooler toned, I feel like contour and bronzer, it's just like too much. I just don't want the bronzer, but I do like this guy, and I'm kind of sad because I actually really like this color, and I'm not sure where to find this color again because I made it out of random eyeshadows. Hey. This next product I also used 27 times, and that is my brow powder. I definitely made progress. Yeah. I don't know how well you can see. There is just a tiny bit around the edges. I will definitely have this done by next month. I will probably repress this into a different pan so that I can Franken the new one and finish this up, which will take like, I don't know, a week or 2, and then work on the next one. But I didn't have a ton in this pan. It was very thin. I hit pan very quickly and just it kept on expanding. As you can see, I can use a lot of brow powder because I like it to be consistent. If I don't use a ton, it kind of looks uneven, but that is my entire update. Pretty happy with my progress. A lot of the things had a lot of changes, with the exception of the bronzer, but we won't talk about her. The bronzer doesn't exist, except actually let me know what you think about what I should do with the bronzer. If there's a way I can use it that you think I'd like better, I don't know. But anyways, I'm just really excited to be in this project. Definitely check out Amanda and Jessica's channels. I will link information about them below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!